Hello again. Coming up next in Prime7 local news. Yesterday's snow may have melted, but another cold snap is on the way for the region. We're being asked to spare a thought for those in our community sleeping rough this winter. COVID and flu take a huge toll on local blood supplies. A farm trial project in Parks is putting sheep on solar farms. We'll tell you how it's going. Car and motorcycle club set to welcome hundreds of riders this weekend. And in the national news, when disgraced actor Robert Hughes will be deported after his parole win. And celebrations fit for a queen will have your first look inside the Platinum Jubilee. That's Prime7 local news.
This is Prime7 local news.
Tonight it was sunny today, but locals brace for more freezing weather ahead. More support needed for locals sleeping rough as temperatures plummet.
I'm Kirstie Fitzpatrick. Later this news hour, Robert Hughes to walk free after serving 8 years for child sex offences, and the dramatic conclusion to the defamation trial that's gripped Hollywood.
Now, Prime7 local news.
Good evening. Central West locals are tonight being told to brace for more wild weather over the coming days. While the snow melted away today, conditions are set to take another turn. Christopher Tan joins us now. And Chris, can we expect to see more snow across the region?
Maddie, at this stage, it's not yet clear when we will see our next snow day. But what we do know is that blizzard-like conditions are set to return early next week. There's more rain and wind on the forecast, with the top to reach just 5 degrees on Tuesday and Wednesday. It means we shouldn't get used to those patches of blue sky we saw this afternoon, because winter is well and truly here. The Bureau of Meteorology says a series of cold fronts are making their way overhead from Saturday onwards, so keep an umbrella on hand. Maddie?
Sounds that way, and also those big warm jackets. Thanks, Chris. Christopher Tan there. Well, staying on all things weather, it's time now to check in with Kirstie Fitzpatrick. And Kirstie, no snow today. It was nice to see that sunshine.
It was, Maddie, a really nice change. Good evening, everyone. Certainly after the icy and grey start to winter that we saw yesterday, temperatures didn't feel so bone-chilling today either, thanks to those gusty winds easing off. Parks reached 14, Young a top of 11 degrees today, and it felt pretty close to that. Some frost on the morning though, as we saw there, Lithgow and Oberon still dropping to freezing with maximums in the single digits. In Cobar in the west today, a top of 14 degrees with a fairly light breeze, and 13 for Gilgandra. Now tomorrow the showers will return, though they are expected to stick around into our weekend. Sunday looking like the day for the heaviest falls. I'll have those details soon, Maddie.
Thanks, Kirstie. We'll see you in a few minutes. As the cold weather bites, some of our most vulnerable are struggling to stay warm. With more people needing support than ever before, there's a push for extra social housing to be made available in the regions.
Meet Cassandra. She's an Orange local who knows all too well the struggle of finding a safe and affordable home.
I felt scared, having nowhere to go. It was challenging, applying for real estate, getting knocked back.
Ruben Spargo, Prime7 News.
And winter is also one of the toughest times of the year for families and children who are already struggling. But the Smith family has launched its winter appeal aimed at helping students face the challenges of cost of living. The organisation's latest study has also revealed that more than half of parents are still facing difficulties related to COVID.
We heard loud and clear from families that, they're the combination of the ongoing legacy of COVID.
There's calls tonight for more overseas doctors to take up work in the bush to provide some short-term relief to our struggling communities. It comes as a busload of medical students travelled from Dubbo to Nyngan and Cobar to learn more about working in our backyard.
Travelling across Western New South Wales. On board are 20 medical, nursing and allied health students from across the state. Hamish Southwell, Prime7 News.
Our local blood donation centres are pleading for anyone who can to come forward and donate. It comes as half of all appointments are being cancelled, thanks to illnesses like the flu and COVID.
All it takes is a quick pinch, a small sacrifice to make to save others.
Blood supplies are critical for lots of different applications in the hospital, everything ranging from trauma to pregnant people.
A woman and a teenager have been charged after reports of break, enter and steal offences around Coonamble last month. Police executed a search warrant at a local home yesterday, arresting a 16-year-old boy. During the search, an 18-year-old woman was also arrested after she threw an object, kicked and spat at officers. The teen was charged with a range of property offences, while the woman was charged with assaulting an officer in the execution of duty. Still to come in Prime7 local news, the Stroke Foundation urges Indigenous Australians to quit smoking this Reconciliation Week, and the countdown is on for this year's Bathurst Winter Festival.
And later this news hour, convicted pedophile Robert Hughes to walk free from prison and straight onto a plane to the UK. Johnny Depp's resounding win in his defamation battle. So what's next for the actor? And a gunman kills 4 people at a US hospital before turning the weapon on himself.
You can catch up with Prime7 local news anytime, anywhere on 7plus, and stay in touch 24/7 on 7news.com.au.
This year, the centre of Bathurst will once again be transformed into a wonderland. The Winter Festival will return during the July school holidays, bringing with it a giant Ferris wheel and an ice skating rink. The 16-day experience is set to deliver plenty of activities for family.
It was an initiative I know a few years ago. It was just a thought bubble, and it's just growing to one of our major events. The lighting around town, our carousel back.
Still to come in Prime7 local news, a Dubbo young gun suits up for the Junior Wallabies under-20s squad, and hundreds of riders set to descend on the Woodstock Speedway this weekend.
Welcome back. Woodstock Speedway is back in action after their last few race meets were cancelled due to the wet weather. Riders from all over made their way to town, competing in round 2 of the Cara Motorcycle Club Championships.
Woodstock has gotten out of the gates for the first time in a while, playing host to some of the region's best riders.
The Bathurst Harness Racing Club roared to life last night with a Burke's Horse Rugs pace. Phase of Glory hit the lead as they turned into the straight and managed to hold off a late charge from Alta Downs to get the win.
It's out in front, Phase of Glory, but Alta Downs is right there. Tom the Curious off carts late. It's Alta Downs that put the nose in front. Phase of Glory's trying to lift. Phase of Glory, Alta Downs is going to...
Dubbo Roos rugby product and Randwick young gun Jaden Blake will suit up for the Junior Wallabies under-20 squad on the Gold Coast. The Central West locals spent some time with the national squad back in February, and it's been confirmed he'll don the green and gold. Blake and the Junior Wallabies will take on Argentina, Fiji and New Zealand in July. Still to come in Prime7 local news, Kirstie Fitzpatrick will be back with your local weather forecast.
And in the national news, nurses run for their lives as a gunman opens fire on a hospital. Convicted pedophile Robert Hughes to be deported. Will he still be monitored? And what's next for Johnny Depp after he wins his defamation trial? Hello again. A high-pressure system has delivered sunnier skies and calmer winds for most of the state today, but a trough and a cold front are about to move into western New South Wales tomorrow, bringing showers and more gusty and cold winds. Snow, hail and alpine snow, and small hail is likely. This system will continue to impact New South Wales and Victoria into early next week, with around 30 millimetres expected for our region over the coming week. The heaviest of those falls around Sunday. Today's sunshine, though, has been a fairly nice break from the grey skies of this week, but tomorrow those overcast conditions will return for some. Likely a frosty start, Parks dropping down to 2 degrees in the morning, below freezing though for parts of the central tablelands, with a high chance of 5 to 10 millimetres arriving tomorrow afternoon and evening. 13 degrees our top in Coonamble and 11 for Mudgee with a northwesterly breeze. Much the same for our Saturday though too, showers and overcast skies across the weekend. Cobar a maximum of 16, Condobolin Dublin, 15 degrees. Cloudy for most of the day with some gusty westerly winds becoming northwesterly around about the mid-morning. A couple of millimetres of rain for the central tablelands around Bathurst with a top of 11 degrees and orange reaching just 7. But that chance of rain is expected to increase on Sunday. The central west slopes won't see too many showers, no more than a millimetre or so, but across the tablelands that chance of showers will increase to up to 10 millimetres for Lithgow and a maximum of 9 degrees. And it will be accompanied with strong northwesterly winds reaching speeds in excess of 40 kilometres an hour. So by Sunday we will be seeing the return of that unsettled weather again to end the weekend. Cowra 13 degrees and Young a maximum of 12. To the next 7 days now, the drizzly weather and the below average temperatures do look to stick around for a little bit longer, getting even colder as we move into next week, of course, as we get a little bit deeper into winter. By next week, dropping below freezing again, so some very cold nights. The chance of snow returning towards the end of next week, though, for parts of the central tablelands, Maddie.
Well, we can say goodbye to that sunshine we saw today.
That's right, won't be here for long.
Thanks, Kirstie. See you later. Let's take a look at fuel prices across the region. In Orange, the Caltex had unleaded for $1.87 a litre, while diesel was $2.02. The Midtown in Lithgow was one of the best for diesel at $2.07, with unleaded at $1.89. In Parks, the Caltex was the cheapest in town, with unleaded at $1.93. And in Mudgee, diesel was $2.03. And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. You can join the debate on our Facebook page, and you can catch up on our website or at 7plus. Kirstie's back with your national news in just a moment, with details on why convicted paedophile Robert Hughes has been released from prison early.